E3, it's over. The press conferences are done, the announcements have been made, and boy, did we find out a whole load of new information. But not everything. There's still a lot we don't know about all the upcoming games, as well as what the big companies are actually thinking. Until now. This week on Reality Check, we're going to expose all the secrets, the hidden agendas, and exactly how the big publishers all really feel. How, you ask? Well, today we're going to abandon our faithful servant science and instead take a turn to the dark side. That's right, folks, it's time to get pseudo-science. We're going to use pseudoscience. Reverse speech. Now, you may have never actually heard of it, but it's a very real idea believed by a dedicated few. Reverse speech advocates claim that you can get a glimpse of what people are really thinking by recording speech and then listening to what they have said played backwards. Yes, backwards. How the heck does that work? Well, the theory is that when we speak, our brain subconsciously chooses words that not only make sense forwards, but also come together to make words or phrases that reveal our hidden thoughts and motivations when listened to in reverse. Lost? Don't worry about it. Just type reverse speech into YouTube and you'll find tons of examples, usually heavily political. Observe.
I, for one, believe there are lessons to be drawn from her life and from the extraordinary and moving reaction to her death. Seller, feel it now. Seller, feel it now. Seller, feel it now.
Seems legit, right? Well, let's apply this technique to this year's E3 press conferences and see what we can learn.
First, I want to show some of the great games coming to Xbox One in 2014. Sure.
We will further enhance PS4's broadcasting capabilities. We've
never seen these characters this real before.
Sometimes haven't you felt the need to, or the desire to scream at the television screen, look out behind you or don't open that door? Now, hey, Michael. Now, hey, Michael.
The road trip of your life begins exclusively on Xbox.
The game will feature completely new visuals and gameplay sequences that will rival the best PS4 games on the market.
Robots? Today, we're dedicating our entire briefing to games.
With hundreds of quests, activities, and rewards. But that's not all.
So, whether you're playing solo or with friends, or you're the worst,
this is a breakthrough in latency-free, multi-device online gaming.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Okay, so we learned a bunch of things there. Surf games are back in a big way, Sony are into attack dogs and robots for some reason, and also Just Dance doesn't need internet. Except there's one problem. It's all bullshit, isn't it? I mean, what possible evolutionary reason could we have for wasting all that brain power just so we could reveal our hidden thoughts and motivations when our speech is listened to backwards? But you know what? Rather than simply making fun of this pseudoscience, what's far more interesting is to ask why. Like, why have we developed this tendency to hear words where there are in fact none? It's all down to something called pareidolia. It's the same reason we see animals in clouds, a face or a rabbit on the surface of the moon, a Bigfoot on Mars, Jesus on a piece of toast, shapes in the Rorschach inkblot test, or faces in trees. I said faces. It's a type of illusion or misconception involving a vague or obscure stimulus being perceived as something clear and distinct. It's our brain recognizing patterns, something it does really well, and ultimately seeing something where there is nothing to see. So, why do we do it? Well, as famous science communicator and all-round awesome dude Carl Sagan explained, as soon as the infant can see, it recognizes faces. And we now know that this skill is hardwired in our brains. Those infants who a million years ago were unable to recognize a face, smiled back less, were less likely to win the hearts of their parents and less likely to prosper. But it's not just faces. It's also evolutionarily advantageous for us to be able to pick out other things we are motivated to see, be it predators or maybe prey, but also to pick out things we are motivated to hear, like language. Also, once we are preconditioned to hear specific words, it's almost impossible not to hear them. For example, this clip will now always sound to us like, "Seb, there will be a robot."
Seb, there will be a robot.
Bring in a new one, however. Here we have Alex Amancio discussing Assassin's Creed Unity. It sounds like nonsense, right? A second listen. Still nonsense. But what if I tell you he's actually saying, "It's more of the bull we did every year"? Now listen. Well, I'll leave you all this week with a bunch more secrets I pulled from the E3 press conferences. Remember though to let me know what you thought of this episode in the comments down below or by tweeting directly at me at CamFrazRob. And also, if you can think of any great examples of pareidolia I missed, be sure to let me know. Okay, time for some more revelations from the E3 press conferences thanks to the wonder of reverse speech.
Where every single second is a story.
Here to tell us more is Just Dance's executive producer, Mr. Jason Altman. This is nice.
You're a member of a civilian elite, trained in secret.
This renewed interest and excitement benefits everyone. Now we
November 11th on PS4.
Thank you for that masterful segue. Yeah, I guess we'll just have they're freaking it.
Today, we are really proud to announce our partnership with Microsoft to bring a new type of training on Xbox One this November. So,
first, I would like to say thank you to all the fans.
So last year, we gave you a glimpse of a New York City on the brink of collapse.
Pitting a couple of Ubisoft employees against each other. The US against the France. That's what they called it. La France.
This generation is off to the hottest start in history. You're sitting girls.